It may be the biggest backlash the Disney parks have seen. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is here, and it's obscene to so many. Disney pixie dusters are now tangled up in knots. They don't know what to do. They don't know what's hot. They do know one thing, and that is they don't want the public against them, but they also don't want to lose their cupcakes. Today, folks, we'll tell you how Disney is in one heck of a mess with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to tell the truth. Fancy that. And doing that, folks, lets us keep you ahead of the culture curve, helps us explain entertainment. It's the axiomatic starting point for everything we do, and we don't care if Disney doesn't put us on the media list. We don't care if they don't give us a fancy cupcake or name a spirited beverage after us at Epcot. We shall survive. Lorena Creole's also surviving. She's thriving. Lorena, welcome back.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Glad to be back.
Lorena, this is some of the funniest stuff we've ever covered in our lives. It's I don't even know how to describe the chaos that Disney is experiencing right now, except to say things are not going swell for them. I want to show you this. This is from Braden out of Mickey Views, and we're big fans of Braden. Let me just play this, okay? This is how it's going for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the replacement to Splash Mountain. I think this video really shows exactly how things are going. Here we go. Poor Charlotte. Charlotte's had a hard time. She's
Oh my.
Charlotte. Now, this video, of course, is of the media and the influencers yet again being evacuated from the ride. Yet again, Lorena. This is not the first time. It's not the only time. In fact, Braden says, get ready for this, folks, every single person I know that has previewed Tiana so far was evacuated at least once. A ride operator estimated it has run properly a total of 3 hours. A total of 3 hours in 5 days of attempted operations. How bad is this going, folks? Well, take a look at this. Out of Splash Mountain archives, fire alarm currently going off at Bayou Adventure, previews halted. Take a look at that.
Oh, that is not normal.
Lorena, nothing about this is normal. You've been at the parks. You've been covering this. You've watched the fire alarms go off. You've watched people be evacuated. You've watched the water be drained from the ride. And that's not even getting to the fact that people don't like the ride when it works. Lorena, what in the world is going on with this special kind of never-before-seen disaster?
Oh my gosh. I think Imagineering just pretty much said, okay, yep, it's your problem now. We're on to the next thing. Yes, on to the next thing, and leaving it to the poor ops people to try to get this sucker to work.
Right?
It is
I think Imagineering's still in control of it. I think WDI is still on the scene. I don't think they've handed it over fully to ops yet. That's what's crazy about this. This sucker doesn't work out the gate. So, Lorena, tell me about the water being drained out of the ride. You saw that yesterday, right? You were there.
Yes.
You were covering it.
Yeah,
What
I was there.
happening when they were draining the water out of the ride when they're supposed to be pushing press and media and influencers through?
I don't know. It's like with the water gone, it just seems so strange that they would do this in the middle of cast member previews. I would think that is giving one of the benefits to the people who work for you as a way of saying thank you. You would have them on a fully functional attraction with maybe like a 1 to 5% chance of it going down. But yesterday, I think they only did cast member previews up until 10 a.m., which is when all this stuff started popping off. And cast member previews did not resume, because I was live streaming at the time, so you could see when this happened, until 8:20 p.m. Eastern.
And Lorena, they actually had cast members and their guests and influencers, because influencers are working to get on the ride. they actually had them wait for 3 hours, according to reports, in the queue in the salt mines, which are hot, by the way. Salt mines are not a pleasant place to be. We'll mock that later today, folks, on the Pro Show. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It deserves all the mocking it can get because of what salt mines are and what historically they are. So we'll mock that. Don't worry. But they had guests waiting for 3 hours in the salt mines, according to reports, before they kicked them out of there, telling them that if they left, they would lose their opportunity to ride the ride. So these poor people are sitting in the heat of the tunnel for 3 hours. All Disney did was bring them a single popsicle, according to the reports we saw on Twitter.
Peach popsicle from Outshine.
A single peach popsicle to say, please don't have a heat stroke. That was, oh me. Anyway, so the mechanics of the ride are not going well, and I just want to say to folks too, okay, there's a lot of defense happening now from the Shills, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. This ride clearly has more issues than just sensors. They're not draining the water because of sensors. That can't be happening. I don't know that. I'm not on the inside of this. I'm not standing over their shoulder. I'm sure they are keeping this as hush-hush as possible. But tripping sensors do not force you to have to drain the entire attraction. There's no way that can be true. Anyway, this ride, we'll talk about in just a moment, is utterly despised right now by the public. It's really put the Pixie Dusters in a problem. But I want to show you this, Lorena, because this, again, is going to the heart of incompetence at Walt Disney Imagineering. This is an article out of That Park Place that I've written. And I discovered this video that's on Theme Park Review, okay? They've got almost 2 million subscribers, so, I don't know what good it's going to do for me to say, folks, go support them, but, we'll throw them some more. But we're going to play this video. It's going to start at a very specific time. Lorena, you're going to notice something peculiar about Tiana's Bayou Adventure in this video. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go.
Okay, one of my favorite. Lewis? You all right?
So, Lorena, this animatronic is brand smacking new.
Oh.
And its lips ain't smacking. So,
no.
Straight out of the gate from Imagineering, it's broken. So this is not on ops. This is not on maintenance. Folks, don't be blaming maintenance at Walt Disney World.
No.
These
do not.
Are fragile like 2-week-old eggs, and they stink that way too. Lorena, what do you make of the idea that Imagineering couldn't deliver a functional ride?
It's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. Disney standard would be that when they delivered a ride, that it was working. The animatronics were working, and it was every once in a blue moon that an animatronic would stop working. And I don't think I've ever seen an animatronic stop working in my lifetime until the likes of Rise of Resistance. Of course, a Disco Yeti, but we'll give that one a grandfather pass for the Disco Yeti. But this is ridiculous considering all the press that they did showing us how awesome this animatronic was. And the Lewis animatronic was indeed awesome. I mean, with all the fabric, when it worked, it just looked amazing. The fact that this sucker doesn't work and it's not even like prime time right now, this is such a failure and a slap in the face to the public, to the cast members, who I'm pretty sure they didn't get comp time to go and see that is not working. How the heck do you deliver something like that doesn't work?
So when it does work, Lorena, it gets a 23,000 dislike to 9,000 like ratio on the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you, folks, corporations can get a lot of likes. They can manage to get a bunch of likes, but one thing they can't do apparently is get positive comments, because we've measured this. It's about 200 to 1 negative to positive comments on this ride. And so, Lorena, the latest Shill strategy has been to say that, well, Disney, they really did a disservice to themselves by putting out this POV video. This just did not do justice to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They screwed themselves over. And it's like, really? You're telling me that highly professional, highly paid Disney marketing teams know less than you do, YouTuber, and listen, I'm a YouTuber, but I'm telling you, you're telling me that they know less than you, and they made a video that, by the way, is edited, taken at different times of the day for every best angle they could come up with, where it cuts out every empty part of it they could. You're telling me that video, we should not believe our eyes nor ears. There are not empty spaces in the dark. There's not a creepy section where you slowly drift towards a Tiana that just stares blankly into the void. They didn't replace vultures with a screen. They didn't replace animatronics with Firefly CGI projections that are nothing kinetic in comparison to what Splash Mountain once was. They didn't destroy Laughing Place. There is no story that is absolutely disconnected and disjointed. It's all make-believe. It's the fault of the POV video. Lorena, what do you make of the defenses, and what other defenses have you heard thus far from the Disney shills attempting to salvage the mouse's mess?
This is such a case of who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes, with these Disney shows that are out there. Now, I have kind of like a unique perspective, because before I started getting into this whole vlogging business and on YouTube, I used to watch a lot of these Shill channels, a lot of these pixie dusters who called me every name in the book because I wasn't down with this retheme of Splash Mountain. And it's like, if you're not okay with it, then you're not a true Disney fan.
That's why they're
X,
stuck,
Y, and
Lorena.
Z.
That's
Yes,
why they're stuck.
that is
So Harmonious, with Harmonious, they there was no like religious backing of it, so they could all be on the side of the public. They all took some sort of quasi-religious position about destroying Splash Mountain, and so now we've
yes.
got the results of it.
Yes, and the result is something that's so freaking lackluster, and you expect people to pay money to go to the park and see this. And a lot of the other defenses that I've heard is, well, what do you expect? Do you expect it should be the same all the time? Disney has to change their attractions, right? This wasn't this attraction was outdated. It was outdated. It was problematic. You're going to have to experience it for yourself to get the true flavor of what this amazing attraction is. It's like, look, we're calling the baby ugly. All right. And this is calling this is ugly. It's their baby. Now, I know, you want to be on Disney's good side with a lot of these show channels out here, but at least be honest. You want to keep being able to go to the cupcake parties at Disney. Okay. Just be honest and come out and say that, full disclosure.
Lorena, Disney was cruel to them, though. Think about this. These people, they have carried the water for Disney. They have slammed every critic they can. They have done the vile work on behalf of the angry rat. And yet, when it came time for this attraction to be released, Disney put out the full ride-through before they ever had a chance to do their own early access preview videos. Disney pulled the carpet from out from under their feet, and they don't know what to do, because the public now sees that they're completely and utterly vapid. They're just an empty bottle carrying the message that Disney wants. And worse, Lorena, these people already destroyed themselves with the Star Cruiser. So nobody trusts them whatsoever anymore, because they went out there and praised to the high heavens the Star Cruiser. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but it's really worth your time and money. It's the most amazing thing that Disney's ever done. And now there's this lady out there who has put out a video, and it's got like 5 million views, where she explains, no, this was garbage. This was garbage. Of course, she waited until it was closed, but she puts out a video and says it's garbage. It gets 5 million views. And all those people who are like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. Oh, you got to come ride it. Oh, I love these blue shrimp. They dyed them blue with natural flavors. Listen, the slush puppy shrimp didn't do it, okay? I'm sorry. The slush puppy shrimp failed. And so nobody trusts them anymore. And they come out and they're like, you're just watching Splash Mountain with nostalgia, glasses. And you can put Tiana's Bayou Adventure and you can put Splash Mountain side by side, run them, one-to-one, and Disney had to have known this would happen. And it is night and day, literally, because you can't see. It looks like Pandora landed in the bayou in Tiana's, and over in Splash Mountain, you've got blue skies and happy and joy and cartoons and bright lights and jumping frogs and spitting water. And oh my gosh, it's just incredible. So, Lorena, talk to me for a minute about what do you think is going to be the outcome for these pixie dusters who, and by the way, you can split these into two groups, right? So you've got the legit, true believing, they've turned Disney into a religion, folks. And then you've
Yeah.
also got the ones who they know the game, right? And so they know the game that must be played, and they're playing the corporate game here. They don't believe any of this. They just, it's a job. So, Lorena, what's the outcome for them if they stick with this? Tiana's Bayou Adventure is a great Fantasyland dark ride. What's the outcome?
The backlash is coming, and it's going to come in one of two forms: quiet quitting, like people will just unsubscribe or not watch, or what I call, active shaming, just like, you told me X, Y, and Z, and this is definitely not the case. So what else are you not being honest about when it comes to, when it comes to these attractions? I think that's one of two things that are going to happen, because I know before I started getting into this vlogging game, a lot of people would plan their trips by watching these channels because they're just like, look, this is information I don't think I can get anywhere else. They've got to be telling me the truth, right?
Honey, they say the slush puppy shrimp are delicious. We've got to spend $6,000. We just got to. We can't keep kids out of this.
Exactly. It's like, we have to do all this. We have to, it looks so fun. They're out there and it looks so fun. It's like, well, folks, when the camera's running, of course it looks like fun. But you have some people out there who, it's just a job. For others, it's just like, we really don't believe this stuff, but we just get hits and everything for it. For me, I'm 100% honest, because I look from the standpoint of the person who puts out their money for this. That hurts on their part, that they're going to have to do that. And even more so when you put money out and you get an absolutely craptastic experience, but yet you have some of these Shill channels out here telling you, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. You must do it. Your Disney experience is not complete without it. I'll tell you right now, this attraction, your Disney experience is complete if you don't do it, frankly.
I don't see a reason to ride the thing. I mean, if you've watched the video, folks, I mean, they managed to make a 50-foot drop boring. So congratulations. There's no need to ride it anymore. There's no tension. There's no excitement. It's just,
there's no splash zone, folks.
That's right. Lorena, this is an article out of Forbes. And this article out of Forbes just slams Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It is a glorious masterpiece in the mainstream media talking about the backlash. And for those out there who are attempting to defend Disney disingenuously, right? We're not talking about those who truly believe that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is good. We've been here before, folks. We've watched what happened with The Phantom Menace decades ago, where a lot of folks came out and said, greatest Star Wars movie ever. And two days later, they were like, I don't know. I had to say it. I waited 8 hours in line. And no offense to Phantom Menace. We're just saying it's not the best Star Wars movie ever.
Right.
So we know the buyer's remorse. But I think Forbes is going to rattle those with cognitive dissonance majorly, because this is a mainstream media piece that just comes out and says, listen, this has been received so horrendously that it is going to actually damage Josh D'Amaro. But I'm going to say too, Lorena, it's not the head of Disney Parks and Experiences, Josh D'Amaro, who's likely to take the full brunt of this, although he might be the fall guy. The other people who definitely need to take a hit here, we've got Carmen Smith, and then Charita Carter, I believe is her last name. Yeah,
Charita Carter. Yes. Oh God, yes. But
Carmen Smith, I think, she's the culprit, because she's the one who we have on record saying that she was not going to put Facilier in here, and they were going to take out all references to voodoo. There's not going to be any tension. There's not going to be any, it's all just a happy good time. And I mean, Carmen Smith has never done a single attraction that has been successful. She has never done an exhibit that has been successful. She's the head of DEI at Walt Disney Imagineering. She just sucks. And she's probably a lovely person in private. She's probably a fun person to sit and have tea with, but she can't make an attraction. This has to be the end of letting her do anything in regards to attractions, because this is terrible. So, Lorraine, I'll give you final thoughts on where we are. This is going to be a dumpster fire for months. This could be a dumpster fire for years. I don't know if they'll go in and try to fix this. They might have to shut it down for, months and months and spend another $100 million to try to plus this thing up. The surveys are going to be, they're going to be scathing. The people getting off this, the complaints to the City Hall at Main Street are going to be scathing. Merchandise, you're not going to sell merchandise off this ride.
No.
So, final thoughts, Lorraine, on this dumpster fire.
Oh my gosh. This thing, they're going to have to wind up retooling it. I mean, from the outside looking in, there's no tension, because with the Splash Mountain that we all know and love, you had the drop down to the Briar Patch. And one of the great places to watch and get pictures is when the logs would come down, the splash zone was all over the place, people got wet, and that was like, oh wow, I have got to go and experience getting soaked all the way down to my underwear. With this, when the logs drop, it just drops down behind a wall of grass, and there's no splash at all. And Mama Odie says, she's got to make you big in order for you to make a big splash. Well, there's no splash. There's no draw. There's no excitement. It's just like, why am I going to stand in line just to fall over this, ledge into some,
Lorena,
mist
can I just,
or something?
I know
like
I said
that.
I'd give you last word. Can I please just insert for a moment? The line,
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to make you big to make a big splash, is the worst Disney line in the history of Disney parks. That is the worst line of dialogue ever put into an attraction.
It's awful. And you know what I thought of, because I know so many people said, and I agree, Dr. Facilier should have been in this, and that big ride up should have been that whole scene from Are You Ready, and all the little voodoo guys with the, the masks and everything. And right after you're about to go over that bridge to go drop down, the last thing you should see is Dr. Facilier blowing out the flame, and all you see is his eyes, just like in the film. And
No,
that's
Lorena,
when you go
you're
over.
describing something cool. You're describing what would have been really cool and would have made me say, you know what? I miss Splash Mountain. We should have never destroyed it, but this is a cool ride. That's because that would have been my review if that had happened. Let me read this paragraph from Forbes, and then we'll wrap it. Folks, we're going to cover this more on the Pro Show. You've never seen anything like it. This is the funniest thing to cover. You have to make it funny, because there's nothing else. What are you going to do? You're going to say, well, for 30 years, they destroyed the most popular ride in the world, and now you got to go to Japan to ride it. You're going to just sit there and be depressed about it? No, we're going to mock this because it's what it deserves. Here's the final article, or the paragraph out of Forbes that you just got to hear. After the construction walls went up around Splash Mountain in Orlando and California, it became clear that the spectacular centerpiece tree on top of the attraction had been scrapped. This left it without a landmark. Instead, the attraction now looks like a mound of moss and stands in stark contrast to the initial concept art. The content of the ride is even more confusing. And it goes on. Folks, this is paragraph after paragraph after paragraph dismissing this travesty that is Disney. Folks, we got to end it there, but let me tell you, if you want great theme park coverage, if you want to know what's truly going on in the parks, Lorena Creole doesn't just do Disney. She does Universal Studios, and she covers it accurately. Lorena, tell the folks out there what you've got coming up in the real near future.
Well, folks, of course, I have got the Spice Lounge on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be talking about that impending dumpster fire, or should I say implosion, known as the Acolyte, among several other hot topics of the day.
It just never ends.
Man,
Worst week for Disney ever.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, I'm going to be streaming live from Epcot. So we're going to hang out there a little bit. And then we're going to escape on over to one of my favorite Epcot resorts to crash. And that would be the Beach Club Resort. So we're going to have some fun touring over there, checking out the property, one of the most amazing pool areas, which would be Storm Along Bay. So we're going to have a great time doing that on Saturday.
The Disney park situation today, folks, is sort of like if you drive into a wonderful subdivision, very high-end subdivision, and there's one home that's covered in crayons and the lawn isn't mowed and it looks crazy, and someone says, oh, yes, there are 5-year-olds living in the house now. There's no adults at all. That's the Disney park situation. If you want to follow that clown world, Lorena covers it in great resolution, but she also covers fun stuff like Universal and those other topics as well. Folks, please get over there and subscribe to Lorena Creole. She is the truth-telling theme park tourist you need to be following. If you want true influence, she's the one to do it. Also, folks, help us drive this thing to the moon. Click like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun, and we'll see you on the Pro Show at noon Eastern this Tuesday.
Clickbait, fraud, drama queen. Ugh. I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid. There is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel, which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.